Hey everyone, and welcome to the Forth Valley and West Lothian Regional Improvement Collaborative Inspiration Hub session. So what we're going to do tonight is we're just going to give you a run through how to set up your listing. It's a directory website, so all the examples of developing practice will appear in the appropriate category with the appropriate tags and under the right headings if we just set up our listing correctly. So my name's Pam. I'm from Tablet Academy Scotland. We're coming at you from Alloa today, so we're local to the Forth Valley and West Lothian area. Thanks to all of you who have managed to join us. Of course, this will be available on YouTube as a video right afterwards. So I'm just going to pop on just now and share my screen. So we're just moving into screen share, and here we are at the Inspiration Hub homepage. So just to talk you through the site, if you've not had the chance to have a look at it yet, the URL is the inspirationhub.co.uk. Remember the. So it's the inspirationhub.co.uk. And here we are on the landing page. And if we scroll down, we can see a little introduction there. And we've got all these little buttons saying add practice. So all of these are inviting you to share your practice. And here, down here, we can see the directory feed bringing in some examples that have already been added. So thank you very much to Clackmannan and Shire Council, who were the kind of supported the Regional Improvement Collaborative to just get some early examples on. And we've been working with them just to add a bit more detail to the examples. And well done to this example here from Toronto Primary School in West Lothian, I think. Which is a fab example too. So these are the directory listings. They come in and more will be added there as they come in. If I hit explore all, then I get taken to the explore all page where we can filter. So over the left hand side here, you can filter or you can choose specific categories just to see the examples in those categories. For example, if I chose health and well-being, then I'm only going to see examples of developing good practice from health and well-being. And you can go back at any time and just browse through the different categories over on the left-hand side. So as well as browsing by subject area and by focus area, so, we also have the ability to browse by stage. So you see here that from early through to CLD, we can just choose the appropriate level, and then we'll just see directory listings for that level. Obviously, the more we get added, the more that search and filter and browse functionality becomes useful. So what we're going to do today is just take a look at a couple of good examples. I'm just going to go back to the Explore All tab, and let's have a look at this example here from the Clackmannan and Shire Primary PE team. So Clackmannan and Shire Primary PE team have done an amazing bit of work during lockdown to provide PE resources to all the primary schools when they were closed. So some of these resources here are just well worth sharing. I just want to talk you through here how the listing works. So you've got the title of your listing will show up here. A little bit of context and background. Then we're looking for what we did, what happened. And as you go forward, how we did it, what impact and outcomes we saw, and any feedback that we got here. So there's some quote, there's a quote in this example, actually from me. There's me quoting myself. But there's a quote in there, which is obviously interesting from a feedback point of view. You could also add in some data, maybe some survey data in there, but quotes work well. You could also add in a video quote if you wanted to. And you can see we've added in some feedback from parents too. As we scroll further down this kind of listing page, what we have is an image gallery. So you can just click on the image and it'll pop up in a gallery, and then you can just kind of scroll through that. So this is an example of the type of resource they created. You scroll through and you can have a look at the different images. I'd really recommend that you add some images. It just brings the whole thing to life and lets other practitioners really see the impact, or see the resource that you've made, or see the project that you've undertaken. And finally, at the bottom here, there's an opportunity for you to upload files. So here, these are just links to PowerPoints that will just download like that, and it'll mean you've got a head start on creating a similar type of resource. What you can also do in any of these sections, so any of these sections here, you can add in web links. So if you don't necessarily have a file that you want to upload, it might just be a link to an online document, either a Microsoft SharePoint link if you're using Office 365 Cloud, or a Google Docs link if you're using the Google Cloud. And most schools in the Forth Valley and West Lothian RIC area will be using either Google Cloud or Microsoft. But you can see here now, that's that PowerPoint downloaded. You've got your very own version of it, and you could just edit this now for your own purpose. And I suppose that's really where the collaboration and sharing benefits all of us, is that we can just quickly share resources and do the same thing ourselves in our own school. Over on the right-hand column, let's just talk about that for a wee minute. So we've got categories, and it's really helpful for the whole website if you can select the category that most suits your resource or development. Then the stage focus is the same. So, it might be whole school. It might be, level 1 might be an early level resource or project. Underneath that, you choose your local authority area, and then a map will show up with your exact location, the name of you as a contact person, and then your contact email and any social media links. And I guess the thinking behind this is that if you see this example of developing practice and you think, I'd like to do that in my school, then you've got a contact from the RIC who will be able to support you, be able to have a chat with you even. And obviously here you've got the kind of details of the project, and you've got any relevant files. But the whole point of this website is to facilitate and encourage collaboration. So it's important to have your contact details there, just in case someone wants to reach out. They might even want to, reach out just to tell you how useful it was. Up on the header area here, you've got an opportunity to get in touch direct by sending an email. So if you were to click that button, then it would just open up your email and be ready to email the person concerned. I'm just going to close that down just now. I'll shut down the whole thing. Just give me a wee second. So yeah, direct contact to whoever created the resource. So let's have a look at another example. We'll just go back to explore all. And the one I was talking about from Toronto Primary School. So this was an excellent example that just came in the other day. And again, I think it's the detail that really brings this to life. So the context background, explaining what you did, how you did it, and then obviously going on to talk about the impact. They've linked up a sway. You can see that in any of these sections, if you just paste in a link, it will show as a web link. So please feel free to add in links to Google Docs, SharePoint Docs. Could be a sway, could be like a Padlet, a Jamboard, anything that you can get a web link for. You can share it in any of these sections. So it might be some charts and graphs in Google Docs or Excel that showcase the impact or the data that you gathered during the project. But this is another great listing. We've got some image files here. Again, they just bring it to life. They just let you see the project itself and really get an idea of what was involved if you close that down there. So let's get started. Let's add a listing, and we'll talk you through the exact steps you need to take to create your very own example like this. So you want to go up to the top right hand corner. You'll see this in the menu no matter what page you're on. So it doesn't matter if you're on the home page or if you're looking at example, you will always see the add practice button. You just click on that, and then what you need to do is you need to either sign in to an account if you already have one, or you can just register. So I'm just going to click register, and all I need to do here is put in an email address. So I'm just going to use this email address here, which I don't think I've used. Oh, I have used it. Let me just try another one. I'll just use my personal Gmail. Doesn't need to be a school email. Oh, I've got an account with that one as well. Try this. And I've got an account with that one too. Goodness me. Scott.tablet.academy. I'm going to have to use one of my colleagues' emails if this one doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm just going to use one of my colleagues' email addresses and sign up with that. I've obviously got lots of test accounts on the system, so that's us now. We're in. You can see the listing form has opened up, and what we're going to do is we're just going to go through this form step by step and just show you exactly what's involved. It's very straightforward. You're literally just filling in a form. So there's a little menu down the left hand side that kind of allows you to navigate between the various different sections of the form, but I'd recommend that you just start at the beginning and work your way through. So you're looking for a catchy title, first of all, that kind of sums up and summarizes your developing practice example. So you would put that in here, and then as you go down, the next thing you have to do is select your local authority. It's just a checkbox. I'm in Clackmannanshire, so I'm going to choose that one. And then the system's set up so that it's got all the schools across the Forth Valley and West Lothian RIC. So what I would recommend here, obviously there's a lot of schools in this whole regional area. So I'd recommend that you just start typing the title of your school. So I've, Bathgate, I know is in West Lothian. I'm going to start typing Bathgate, and we see Bathgate Academy comes up there, as well as, Bathgate West Nursery and Early Years Centre. So just start typing the name. If I start typing Deans, then obviously I can see Deans Community High School in there as well. Just choose it from the list. Curricular area. Again, there's a selection here for you to choose from. We've tried to include all the curricular areas, plus kind of cross-cutting themes, priorities in education. So outdoor learning's there. It's not necessarily a curricular area, but we know it's an area of focus. If you don't see the area of focus that you're looking for, excuse me, just get in touch and we can always add one in. So, excuse me, curricular area, and then same goes for stage focus. Goes from early right through to CLD, and we've also added in whole school there as well. So just choose the stage focus. Tags are up to you. There's a number in here already. We need to add some more, but just pick the one that's most relevant to you, and you're allowed to select multiple tags there as well. So, excuse me, if it's CLD and it's digital learning, then you choose both of them. We're going to work to add in a whole lot more tags as well, so you'll be able to just select multiple tags at that stage. So once we've set up the kind of main basic details, that's basically telling the directory where to show your listing. It's going to, show your example of developing practice in the right place. So if people click on, school or local authority or curricular area or stage focus, then they'll be able to find exactly what they're looking for. And obviously, the more examples we get, the more useful that becomes. After that, you've just got this little text box where you can add some details about what you did. So what we recommend here is that you add a fair amount of text, a couple of paragraphs, just to sum up the background to your developing practice. Where was your school? What was your setting? What was the problem you were trying to solve? Just give a bit of background to it all and a bit of context. This little editor here will be familiar if you've ever seen any kind of web text editor. But obviously, if you've used things like, Microsoft Word or Google Docs, it's fairly familiar to you that, that's a bulleted list. That's a numbered list. I'd recommend here that you use formatting. So, use headings. It'll just make your listing kind of look better. It'll be easier for people to read. So choose the headings, format your text, use bold, use quotes, use a quote symbol if you need to. And this little toolbar here, I'm just going to zoom in on that, on the toolbar toggle, it just opens up some more options for you. You can change the text color. You can, you know, paste in text there. You can increase the indents, all that kind of stuff. It's not the most advanced text editor, but it kind of does everything you need it to do. One thing I'd really like to show you is how you might add a document link in here, or a web link of any kind. So let's just go and find, I'm just going to find a Google Drive link here that I've got access to. So let's just take a Google Doc as an example. So here is a presentation here. And we'll just show you how to deal with that. You would click on share. Same would be true of Microsoft. Remember, if you're using Office 365, click share, and then you need to make sure your sharing settings are set that anyone can read them. See here, this one's restricted. I'm just going to go in and change that, and I'm going to make it anyone with the link can view. So I know now that the document sharing settings are correct. So anyone with the link is going to be able to view this. All I need to do now is copy that link, and then I go back to my inspiring practice example, and I just pop that link in there. Now that would be sufficient. What I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to edit this link, and if you click on the little link options bit there, and you can see what you can do is add the URL, but then you can also add in some text. So let's just try adding in some text, and it would maybe say presentation. So we just add in presentation now and update that. And what's going to happen is the word presentation is going to be there, but obviously it will link to that file. So you can test it by just hovering over it, clicking it, and then just clicking on the link, and you'll see that that now takes us to the presentation. The same process would apply across Office 365. So as long as it's in the cloud, as long as it's online, and you've shared it to be public, and you can share any document there, any Word, Excel, PowerPoint, a Sway, a Google Doc, a Google Slides, a Google Sheets, anything with a web address. So maybe you've been using tools like Padlet, maybe you've been using Book Creator. All these links will work in the context of creating your listing. So just add a little bit of text there, and then that would be the process for adding a web link. It's that little icon there to insert or edit a link. And that's really about it. That's about the trickiest thing you'll have to do. So there's 3 main sections for text: the background, what you did, how you did it, and then we go on to impact and outcomes, and we go on to feedback. You don't need to add those sections, but it'd be really great just to enhance your listing, make it stand out. Now, the one image that you really, really, really need is this cover image. So let's just go back to the example just now, and we'll just my phone was ringing there in the background. So what we'll do is we'll go back to the example in the Inspiration Hub, and I'll just show you where the cover image appears. So you'll notice that you can explore all. So it's this big image up the top that goes right across the top of your listing. If you don't have a kind of big, high quality, high resolution image, then I'd really recommend a couple of image sharing platforms. The first one I would recommend is the one that we used for this one, which is called unsplash.com. So it's unsplash.com. And then all the images are copyright free. All of them you can share freely. It's always good to attribute and give attribution. You could just add a little bit of text to say thanks to the name of the photographer. But yeah, you can just search for beautiful images in here. Say it was an outdoor learning one, you could just search outdoor and get some nice nature images. You're not going to get like really specific things, like, you know, if you were searching for Tillicoultry, it's unlikely you'd find it because it's a little town in Scotland. This is a kind of global image sharing platform. You know, if you search for New York, you'd probably be okay. But generic images, images of nature, images of people, images of things, it's a great place to find those. And all you need to do is download it and then upload it here into the image, the cover image section. Obviously, it's going to be great if you've got an actual image of your school or your project, but it does need to be decent quality, just because it's going right across the header of the page. When it comes to logo, what I would recommend is using your school badge. But you may have developed like a logo or an identity for the project that you've been working in. So working on. So feel free to add that in there as well. Here's where you would upload gallery images. And down here is an opportunity to upload actual files. So, like all those PowerPoints that were in the PE team one, you could upload them there. And then you can add in YouTube URLs here and web links in here. I'd recommend that you put the web links into these sections though. So use web links in the course of your sections. Further down, it's just a case of adding in some contact details about yourself. So the name of the preferred contact is probably going to be you. Contact email, and then you add in your school address. Now all you need to do here is just start typing the name of the school. So I'm looking for Allo Academy. There it is. It's all integrated with Google Maps. So the places will be suggested to you when you start typing. Social networks, you just need to click this add button down here, choose your social network, and then put in your unique URL. So if mine was Facebook, there is one of my Facebook pages there, and you can just keep adding them. At the bottom, you need to prove that you're not a robot. This is just Google reCAPTCHA, just from a security point of view. And then what you can do is you can preview your listing. Now, I'm not going to be able to do it because I've missed some fields. It will remind you if there's fields that you've missed that are required fields. It'll take you back to them and it will invite you to add in your details. But once you're done, you can skip the preview and submit it, or you can preview it and make some final tweaks and then submit it. I hope that has been useful. Have we got any comments coming in? I've got a team here just keeping an eye on the YouTube comments, just in case we've got any questions. But please feel free as well to get in touch with us at Colab and Tablet Academy. So get in touch at pam@colabhub.co.uk. Give us a shout if you need any help, any extra support. We've also got Jen at colabhub.co.uk, Jennifer at colabhub.co.uk, Jennifer at colabhub.co.uk. And remember, we've got the support channel on the site as well. So you've got the How It Works page, which takes you through. There's videos in there to support you if you need them as well. And it just takes you through the process of adding your listing. We're also happy to jump on a web call with you if you need any additional support. But the key takeaways from today are, a couple of paragraphs of text would be great. The more you can add, the better. Please upload files, link to files, upload an image gallery, and any video content you've got in there as well. We've really noticed a difference between the kind of listings that are just, a few lines and the ones where there is, real thought through kind of detail. So the reason why we wanted to do this little session today is just to help you with that. Hope you found it useful, and thanks very much for joining us.